All right, BMF season 4, episode 5 is in the bag. Let's talk about it. I got some great things for you today. I got not one, but two big announcements of something coming to this channel, BMF related. So you're going to want to stick around to hear that. But let's get into the review. Episode 5 starts off and we are back in Mexico. Meech is taking a bath and we are treated to a fully nude glute shot of Meech. Thanks, Starz. I guess we needed that. Terry spots someone in the bushes and it turns out to be a young child. Loco comes over and suggests that he's a spy and he's going to get them in trouble. So he grabs the kid up and takes him away. Of course, Terry, the bleeding heart, doesn't really sit right with him. Back in the present time, Meech gets his gang together not to sell drugs anymore, but to push something else. Purdy CDs. He has them all printed up and he puts them out on the street to get the mixtapes out. If anyone was around during the mixtape era of music, this was a big thing to have people out on the streets with your mixtapes. It wasn't an easy feat. People like 50 Cent blew up off of mixtapes. So this was a great peer into the culture at the time. If anybody was in the mixtape culture, drop your favorite mixtape down in the comment. G-Unit is the Future, of course, is my favorite mixtape of all time. But there were some other good ones. Of course, Dipset had stuff like that. I'm an East Coast guy. But yeah, drop your favorite mixtape in the comments. Terry confronts Markeisha about meeting up with Boom and the cop and everything that's going on. And of course, she has an excuse for everything. She is just crafty, or she could be telling the truth. Still don't know. Still don't trust her. This is somebody I'll just never trust on the show. I don't like the way she operates. But I will always say that Lala's acting has gotten a lot better since her days on Power. So kudos to her. Charles. The most hated man on the show. He has the worst luck. And this is my favorite segment every episode, just to talk about the Charles problems. I'm going to call this the Charles problem segment. Let's start with Charles trying to thank his boss for letting him come and work back at the factory while his tour is put on hiatus. He tries to give him a drink. The boss just yells at him and chews him out and gives him all this crap about wanting to bounce back and forth between the tour world and his job. And it's just bad. Like, he tried to do something nice and he's getting yelled at. That's the beginning of it for Charles in this episode. But man, as always, it just gets worse for him. He then tries to get Cece, his new girlfriend, to come on tour with him, and she turns him down. And not just turns him down to the tour, but turns him down completely. She doesn't even want to date him anymore after what happened when the guy was popping out trying to attack him and he beat him up. For some reason, that's her reasoning for not wanting to be with him. I guess he's too angry. I don't know. But it's like, what are you doing? Like, Charles always tries to do the nicest things and he gets shitted on constantly. Moving on, he goes back to the pawn shop to buy his guitar back, and the pawn shop owner hikes the price up on him. Come on, man. Like, what is going on? And then to make matters worse, he sees his wife Lucille's wedding ring in the pawn shop. And yes, I understand they're divorced, they're broken up, but it still hurts to see. Come on, man. Can somebody give Charles a break? At least he gets to go back on tour, right? Everything will be better. He's going to live out his dream. Well, whoever writes this show hates Charles because he goes to work for what I assume is one of his last days. And one of the new guys there drops an engine block on his hand. Yeah, so he can't play guitar. Tour over, dream over, life over. Who knows when or how it's going to heal. Everybody hates Charles. This just needs to be its own show. Everybody hates Charles. It's just so bad. It's like Final Destination just ruined Charles' life. No matter what he does, it's coming back for him. Well, anyway, enough about Charles. Let's talk about Nicole in this episode. So Nicole and Worm get busted in the bedroom by Terry. Finally, I've been waiting for this guy to get busted. I didn't know how long they were going to draw this out. Terry sees him. He gets pissed off, tosses him down the steps. Pretty much what you would expect Meech to do, but Terry handled business on this one. Nicole responded by saying she hates Terry and slaps him, but hey, it was worth it, right? I know in my last review in the comments, some of you were saying that Terry is going to get rid of that guy, and it looks so. It looks like he had to put hands on him, so we were all on the same page there. Meech's right-hand man, Duffy, tells Meech that he has to get out of town because of the heat. This is pretty unfortunate because I feel like Duffy is probably one of the best people that Meech has around. I mean, Loco's pretty cool, but I kind of feel like if Loco gets put in a position, he would flip off Meech if he has to. It's kind of more of a working relationship with a slight friendship, but I feel like Duffy really is in his corner on his side and is solid and 10 toes down. And I don't think Meech has anybody else around him like that. So sad to hear that Duffy plans on skipping town. Meech gets everyone together to hear Purdy's song get played on the radio because he paid a DJ to play it on the radio. But when it doesn't happen, he gets pissed off and attacks the radio station. The radio station guy basically tells him that they were sent a cease and desist from Trell that they can't use any of her performances. This is a rare time that Meech and Terry overlooked the detail when signing a contract. They didn't know they needed the performance rights. And yes, this is a real thing. If you're in music, there are different rights to different things. You have different societies like BMI, ASCAP that collect rights. It's all very technical, but this shows the naivety of Meech and Terry in the music business. This is not the drug game. This is different. So Trell was able to get one up on them on this. Trell tells him that he needs a large sum of money, of course, to get the rest of the rights. And right away, Terry goes to gambling. Like, we know Meech is a little psychotic sometimes. He overlooks a lot of details. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. But does anybody realize Terry's gambling problem is kind of out of hand? Like, it seems like his solution for anything is like, hey, let me gamble. And he's not even good at it. He loses a lot of money. So this doesn't seem to be working out for that. But let's go back to Nicole for a minute. She's having a talk with LaWanda, and guess what? She's pregnant. Yes, the little sister of the Flannery brothers is pregnant, but who is the father? She seems to think it's her original boyfriend, Breeze, that went off to college, but we know she's been messing around with Worm. She's terrified, and LaWanda comforts her in this moment, which is a great scene for LaWanda. I really love her character and how it's building up, and I'm glad she's around on the show to give a little different perspective and feminine energy to this super masculine show. Guess who gets out of jail? Marquise's baby father, Boom. And he comes to the house for some boom boom, if you know what I mean. And this scene is just funny when he's sitting there saying, hey, you feel that? You feel that? I don't know. It's awkward and hilarious at the same time. But now, what is Marquise really going to do that he's out of jail? Can she still continue to play everyone the way she's doing? Or is she not playing everyone? I still don't 100% know. I just don't trust her. Meech somehow breaks into Trell's house and is there waiting for him when he gets home. I just want to say, I understand this is the 90s. We may not have all the Ring doorbells and things that we have now, but people still had security systems and security guards and things like that, especially if you're a so-called major player, you're making all this money. How is it just so easy for everyone to just walk into each other's house and just be waiting there all the time without anyone ever noticing? I mean, it's possible, I guess, but it seems extreme. There's not even a broken window. I don't know. It's just something that you can casually overlook watching the show. But when you think about it, it's like, does no one lock door? I guess for the sake of the show, security has to be super lax. But if I knew two drug dealers were probably out to get me and I was scamming them, I might want to ramp it up a notch if I had the funds. And I guess this is here where I'll drop some big news for you. Tomorrow, July 5th, I will be releasing an exclusive interview between me and Donnell Rawlings, where we will talk about the show and many other things. He even tried to roast me on there. It's a great conversation. You don't want to miss that. Make sure y'all subscribing. Make sure y'all liking. Keep the algorithm going for me. Make sure you comment and tell me who you want me to speak to from the show. Make sure y'all check out that video tomorrow on this channel and stay tuned because I'm going to have one more announcement before I end this review. So Lamar pulls up on Alvin while he's doing his things he does with the bodies and tells him he got shot. He needs to be patched up. He informs him that he heard Meech say thank you to him after Meech tried to kill him. So he knew something was up. He tells Alvin to apologize and Alvin tries to deny it at first, but eventually he apologizes to him, which he shouldn't have done because that's admitting you did it. Lamar seems to give him a good right hand with the hurt arm with the bullet hole in it, knocks him down, and cremates him alive. Yep, that's it for him on the show. He has been cremated alive. I don't think he's going to come back from that, but we know this show's full of surprises. But let's just say he's probably not coming back. Charles and Lucille are waiting in the hospital while B. Mickey's daughter finally gets that surgery she needs. And this is an intense scene, man. Like, there's so many children on this show who already died, and I don't want to see it. I don't like it. I know it's just a show and things like that. And I know the shot value, but it just hurts whenever, even on a TV show where you hear about young children dying. And this show doesn't shy away from that. So I felt very, very, very stressed. Yeah, I had anxiety waiting to see what would happen with this operation. But luckily, everything went great. B. Mickey was happy. I was happy because I didn't have to go through that emotional roller coaster again. And B. Mickey might actually just be a good guy. He takes this moment to propose to his girlfriend and mother of his daughter. And I think this was wonderful, even in the presence of Lucille and Charles, who just came through a divorce. maybe being Mickey's not all that bad. I've been very skeptical of him. He's still a snitch. I still don't really like him. But is there redemption for him? Maybe. I don't know. Meech and Duffy are riding in the car while Duffy's saying his final words before he goes out of town. He gives Meech some money and tells him to watch over his pops, who's in jail. Then, here it is. Detective Brian creeping up in the car with his partner, all slow and spooky like some strange sci-fi monster. Duffy, being the self-aware man that he is, hits the gas. He's in the car. He's whipping that BMW like there's no tomorrow all over the place. It looks like he's about to get away, and boom, flips the car, bro. At this point, I know it's pretty much over. The car is flipped. Like, they can't even, if you ever been in a car accident, you know how disorientating it really is. But they get out the car and they take off running. And Detective Brian and his partner give chase. Of course, Duffy is unfortunately caught. Meech hops in the back of a pickup truck looking on like a puppy whose owner just left for work in the morning. And I was just kind of sad to see this happen, man. I really like Duffy, but hopefully this isn't it for him. Hopefully his story continues on, or he can get out, or whatever the case may be. He's actually one of the side characters on the show that I genuinely enjoy. Another hilarious part about this is Detective Brian. Do you notice that no matter what he's doing, that cigarette just stays in his mouth? I mean, here he's actively arresting a guy after a car chase, and he's pummeling him as he does it. And the cigarette is just sitting there like it's glued to his lip, man. It's freaking amazing. Him and the cigarette go everywhere. They need to name the cigarette at this point. We're going to give that cigarette a name. I don't know, the Bryant cigarette. I don't know. Y'all come up with a name. We'll figure it out next time. I really need to talk about this scene because it's not that important, but there is a scene where Meech gets intimate with his girlfriend. And the only reason I'm mentioning it is because this is the second time we get full-on nude Meech glutes in the episode. Why? This is not necessary. We don't need it. It could be implied of all people, too. Like, anyway. Okay, the close of the episode, the final scene, the Flannery brothers are back in the strip club. Big surprise. But this time it's not just for fun. Purdy is performing. Yes, we're going to get a performance out of Purdy at the strip club. It starts up and it's actually very good. Of course, she takes a bump of the nose candy before, but the performance was actually pretty good. She's there. She's doing her thing. She invites Meech and Terry up on stage. Everyone seems to be loving it. And then just like that, shots ring out. Bang, 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 all over the strip club. Terry tackles Purdy, Meech ducks, and in the aftermath, what happens? Purdy was shot. Hmm. This seems to be done by Trell and his people. At least that's what I think. I'm not 100% sure. But she's shot. What does this mean for Meech and Terry's record business? What does this mean for Purdy? Is she dead? Is she going to survive? I don't know, but I don't know why Meech just keeps thinking he can do things to people and force people into things and they're just going to roll over. I mean, they broke into this man's crib and forced him to sign a contract that's probably not even legally binding at this point. But again, we're talking about drug dealers, pimps, or whatever the heck Trell is supposed to be. So I really don't know the legalities on that one. But that was the ending of the show. I think it was a great episode, very entertaining. We got a decent amount of action. All of the puzzle pieces are starting to line up even more. We got B. Mickey going around. We got Lamar back in play. We got Trell making his move. We got P in New Orleans doing his thing. I mean, there's so much going on right now. I don't know how they're going to wrap this up in 5 more episodes, but I'm willing to see. And for the second big announcement for today, I'm not dropping only one, but two big interviews this week. So we'll have Donnell Rowland's interview drop tomorrow. And on Wednesday, July 9th, we will have Sydney Mitchell and Lila Pruitt. That is Nicole and LaWanda from BMF. I got an exclusive interview with them. We're going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about life. It's another great one. Please comment, like, and definitely subscribe so you get the notification when that drops. You don't want to miss that one. You're going to want to watch it before the next episode comes out. And I'll be back next Friday with a new review. It's going to be a jam-packed week for BMF here. So make sure you guys are subbed up, and I will see you tomorrow.